Hello and welcome in for our Chinese 5 elements pick a card. We're meeting here under the new moon in Aquarius, the first new moon of 2025, which is coinciding with the Lunar New Year as we usher in the year of the Wood Snake. So what we have here is a beautiful deck, the 5 Chinese elements oracle, which is bringing in a representation from each of those. As you will see here, I've already separated out the deck and set an intention to pull forward a message from each of the elements today. So as we're tapping in here for a collective message and some special fortune cookie bonus messages here at the end, be feeling into which one or more of the elements are speaking to you. So what we have here are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So I'll be revealing those later and sharing the messages for those, which will go along with the collective message we're going to tap in here to today into another beautiful deck. This is the Storyteller's Tarot. And again, what I have done is just pulled out the suit of the coins or pentacles because each one of those cards correlates with the Chinese zodiac and brings through different stories that will provide for us a collective message. Because as we're meeting here today, our Wednesday card, our midweek blessing, of course, from the Winter Season Tarot is the 5 of Coins. So whether you're seeing this on the Empowerment Sharecast or in one of my social media spaces, on my free Empowerment Sharecast on the Marco Polo app, we tuned in on Sunday, as we do every week, and pulled some cards for the collective for this week. 5 days and one different intention for each of those days. And Wednesday is our midweek blessing. And we got the 5 of Coins. And I've just shared the quick audible mystics about that as well. And we flipped the script, right? I gave the reversed message because a lot of times the 5 of Coins can carry a rather heavy message of being on the outs or being down or in a state of lack in some way of health, wealth, or abundance. So we flipped that and I shared that reversed message, which is really about stepping out into a new way of investing your energy into the projects, into the relationships, into the way that you wish to bring more abundance into your life. So with that 5 of Coins here as a blessing, we're going to tune in and see what comes forward from the Storyteller's Tarot to go along with that and here on a very fortuitous day and energy of the new moon and the Lunar New Year. So I'll shuffle that up. Of course, we've had the elements here. I just brought in spraying and infusing the space here with our wood dragon energy because, of course, we have just completed the year of the wood dragon, and that brought in the energies of luck, success, growth, and power. And of course, as I shared in some of the Lunar New Year details and things about the Chinese zodiac that preceded this card pull, the snake has quite a potent, powerful, and positive meaning in the Eastern cultures. And so we talked a little bit about the way that we may associate with the snake in the Western world as opposed to the Eastern. And it's very interesting to really feel into those, again, different perspectives and opportunities that in many ways the snake is referred to as a little dragon. It is the dragon is the most fortuitous and, luck and prosperous symbol of the Chinese zodiac, and the snake is the second. So again, we have this beautiful energy coming in here that is fostering intuition, wisdom, and bringing us into a space of fluidity and change, shedding the skins, but remaining open and flexible to all the new possibilities that can arise as we move more into this 9 year, which of course this year of the wood snake will overlap 2025 into February of 2026, which will take us from a 9 universal year that we've been talking about with the energies of the Hermit in the tarot, the 9 major arcana card, to a 2026 will be a 10 or 1 universal year, bringing in the Wheel of Fortune, bringing in that completion of cycles, ushering in new chapters with the 1. So there's a lot of beautiful synchronicity. No matter what tools, whatever you tune into, you can really glean some awarenesses and insight here. And that's my intention here. While, as I've said, of course, I am no expert, but I have great respect and reverence and interest in this particular modality of connecting in with the universal energies. So we're shuffling up here just the coins suit from the Storyteller's Tarot, and just setting an intention here for us collectively to bring through a message today that is going to kind of set the tone for this new year of the Wood Snake. Anything that we have to know and best guidance to move forward on the highest vibrational timeline that is available to us with these energies. So let's just see what wants to come forward along with our 5 of coins as our midweek blessing. Which one of these cards will come forward for us collectively? Ooh, okay, got it. 4 of coins. Okay, so this will take us into perhaps some of that shedding. We see the rat here. The things that we might be holding on to tightly and things that have gotten rather tight when you think about outgrowing that snake skin and the ways in which we may have, again, these opportunities to reinvest, take stock and reinvest in our energy output and what we're investing in. So let's take a look at the Storyteller's Tarot for this 4 of coins. And this is really, really aligned. I just recorded the new moon empowerment reading for this new moon today. I recorded it yesterday. We did a 5-card spread. We tapped into the energies. We talked about the astrological weather. I shared a ritual that you can tap into here in these coming days, as well as the background information I've shared here on the Lunar New Year. And we talked about, this energy of 4 coming up in terms of stability and structure and the framework that we are building from. So the 4 of coins here is bringing us into the energy of the rat. So hiding under the horn of the ox, the rat tricked his way to the finish line in the Jade Emperor's zodiac race. Rats are hard and diligent workers, wise and thrifty, but often thought to lack courage. Instead, choosing to scurry off quickly with whatever they can carry and work behind the scenes. They often overly rely on their instincts to make decisions. So when the 4 of coins appears in general, this can speak to control, possessiveness, scarcity, and opportunities for us to release and to loosen that hold perhaps and allow there to be some space for abundance. Oftentimes I'll show that, if I'm holding on very tightly and I'm trying to control and not to lose something, and in those efforts of holding on so tightly, I can't pick up anything new. If something were to be offered to come in, I cannot receive it because I'm locked in this closed, tight control position. Whereas if I were to open up and allow myself then to receive, then we come into a space where there is room to bring in the new. So, again, this is bringing through a message using that story of the rat tricking their way and sort of, manipulating a situation as opposed to, perhaps a more integritous way to the finish line. But the Storyteller's Tarot is giving us some insight into how that may apply for us in knowing that we've accumulated perhaps a comfortable nest, whether it comes to our finances or possessions. It's all the earthly things, the material things, safety, security, etc. But there could be a lingering thought of, what if it all gets taken away? This is where the scarcity comes in, and it can leave you feeling perhaps, as they're saying, greedy and a bit paranoid in that energy, finding one being possessive of their wealth or material possessions, even though you have some to spare. And this isn't always a bad thing. You are the one who is responsible for your own success after all, and your attention to your financial security is important. The 4 of coins is there to remind you that wealth works best when in circulation. Hoarding of it doesn't do anything but allow it to collect dust. Being overly safe might be a way to secure stability, but it's no way toward fulfillment. Now, on the flip side, when this is in a challenge state as a reversed energy, it says to keep an eye on your bank balance at this time. You're relying too much on accumulating material things and are spending a bit recklessly in search of comfort or happiness. More has been the motto lately, but at what cost? Is your hoarding and quest for excess really bringing you happiness, or are you just longing for a more stable environment? Start focusing on the things and people you really love, not your finances. So obviously, as the Pentacles coins would say, there's a high focus here on finance, money, as we understand it to be that, form of energy, commodity that makes the world go round, if we will. But I like to substitute in with the money because I get it. All of our bank balances and pentacles are in different places. So getting a message that says you've got too much in your bank account and we're like, who do? I get it. I like to replace that. I like to expand that into all the things, all of the abundance of blessings that we all have in our lives, whether it is the health, the wealth, the energy, the material abundance, safety, security, a warm place to be, all of those things that we can bring in and create that, pyramid of a hierarchy of needs. And again, this is not to say that we've got it all realized, but there's a sense of stepping back and taking stock on what all we do have and what is available to us. And again, that notion of it circulating is at its best, movement. And the snake comes in here with this message of shedding and releasing in order to expand and to grow. And so this one being the wood snake, and as I covered in the in some of the little tidbits I've shared here today, each animal of the zodiac has 5 different elements. So there's 5 different versions of the snake in this deck. This one being the wood snake, does speak to an energy of waiting and strategizing, but then a quick change comes in. So if you have been saving and investing, and the thing I'm getting here is that many of us have gifts, we have talents, we have abilities, we have thoughts and things to share, and we may be sort of hoarding them and holding on to them tightly for a whole host of reasons, which oftentimes go back to the not good enough isms, the not enough isms, the comparisonitis where we think we don't have the qualifications, the certifications, the smooth, polished, whatever, in order to share. And so we hide it. So we play small. So we keep it tightly held instead of really getting out there and sharing the wealth of wisdom that you have, gifts that you're holding on to. That's what I'm really feeling. Yeah, sure. This can be about money and pentacles and abundance and all the coins and the bank balances. But I feel that we're really being, especially combining here with this energy of Aquarius, a new moon in Aquarius, the sun in Aquarius, the age of Aquarius is all about this forward movement of innovation and expansion and really stepping into our authenticity, our individuality, but also connecting with humanity and community. So what do you have to bring? What are you bringing out? And what needs to be shed in order for you to really be comfortable in your own skin to bring that to the table? Not the rat that's hiding behind the ox because it doesn't think that it has the strength or the stamina or the ability to achieve something on its own, but rather boldly and unapologetically standing in your power. That's really where we continue to be pushed and stretched in all kinds of ways to step up and step out. So, I feel that symbolism coming in here with this 4 of coins, sort of along with our 5 of coins today, with the guidance that I've shared on the Empowerment Sharecast, not just in our quick message today that I shared from the Audible Mystics clip, but also, what we brought in intuitively on Sunday around this card. So just kind of bringing all those things in together. For fun here now, we'll just pull open I've been saving these for a while. Every now and then I like to bring the fortune cookies in because they're fun. We never know what we're going to get, but they'll give us some lucky numbers and maybe some words of contemplation to go with these beautiful messages today. So let's open up the first one and see what message we get, what's coming forward. Ooh, how perfect. Okay, it says, do not wish to be anything but what you are, and try to be that perfectly. Beautiful. Yeah. This year of the Hermit, this energy of 9, of really culminating and graduating into, your most authentic self. First we go in, right? First we go in and take stock. We take a look at what all is going on that we have opportunities to release, to shed, to integrate into our being so that we can step out from this space. So that's beautiful. Do not wish to be anything but what you are, and try to be that perfectly. That is bringing in the lucky numbers of 24, 31, 14, 18, 22, and 42. Now let's check out our second fortune here. And let's bring it in because you're getting your look here at our 5 elements to feel into which card or cards are calling to you. So now let's open up our second fortune and see what is coming through. It asks, do you see difficulty behind every opportunity, or opportunity behind every difficulty? Wow, these are amazing. These are so on point. The lucky numbers, 45, 13, 30, 16, 12, and 54. So we have numerous numbers here that, of course, add up to 9. And I'm sure if we played around, we'd find even more numerical synchronicities. But of course, with this 9 energy coming in for us this year, we've got 6 as well, which is bringing in that balance, healing, harmony, just in this combination of numbers. So I'll put those up for you so you have those and these amazing little bonus messages. So yeah, do you see difficulty behind every opportunity, or opportunity behind every difficulty? That's really beautiful. And I can report that as I'm recording this on January 29th, tomorrow I'll be releasing the next episode of Stars and Cards with my soul sis, Moonlight Soul. We recorded that the other day to tap into the February energies. And this is really feeling aligned with the messages that we brought through that'll be ushering in for February in terms of, our perspectives and how we see the choices and the challenges that we face. And again, this is really aligned with these messages that we have an opportunity to choose from which perspective we wish to see these things in our midst, and that will continue to expand into as we move through this new year of the Wood Snake. So I'll pull all this together. I'm going to show you here on the Empowerment Sharecast some photos of the cards so you can take a look and decide, thinking about which card or cards are speaking to you. And then later today, I'll be revealing those messages. And of course, if you would like to come along for the New Moon Empowerment reading, also, I will be pulling the card for you that correlates with your personal Chinese zodiac and element. So if you have figured out what you are, or you would like me to help you with that, please reach out. But if you want to join me for the New Moon Empowerment reading that's happening now, I'm providing that information and the link, or you can always just reach out and we'll get you all set up. Part 1 is already ready with all of the astrological weather, ritual, card pulls, and messages that came through to assist you through this first lunation of the year. An amazing time to be setting intentions, planting seeds, really taking stock and looking at what you wish to invest in for this year. And then part 2 would be your personal card pulls, where we'll tune in again to this new moon in Aquarius, and we'll be pulling from the really cool deck that I used for that. It's called the Cosmic Cycles, but I'm also going to be including the bonus of the 5 Chinese elements and pulling out your personal Chinese zodiac and sharing that message with you as well. So if you'd like to come along for that, please check that out. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the pick a card. Stay tuned for more to come. I'm sending you all much love and many new moon and new year blessings. Okay, if you chose the first element of wood, your card is number 11, Wood Dog, with the message, trust your intuition. The wood dog pillar represents a slight sense of discomfort. At first, the dog, as an earth sign, may feel intimidated or insecure in the presence of wood, before his acute senses awaken to guide him. This card often appears when you find yourself in unknown territory. Surrender any conditioned response or automatic reactions to situations beyond your understanding and allow your intuition to take over. The dog is the most intuitive and psychic of all the 12 signs of the Chinese zodiac. As the keeper to the gate of the underworld, the dog can see and sense far beyond the visible. A grounded yang earth sign, the dog also has hidden yin metal and yin fire, which invite self-reflection and enlightenment. This card is a message from your spirit guides to tune into your intuition. We all have psychic abilities, whether you're in touch with your psychic gifts or you've unconsciously repressed them. You can rekindle and cultivate them by practicing a higher awareness of your inner and outer worlds. Be patient. You may have to struggle first with self-doubts and fears before you can get to fully trust your senses. And the messages from heaven and earth. From heaven, Yang Wood's upward energy, like a dog, like a tree, needs rooting. Harness your intuition by staying grounded so you can connect to a higher consciousness without losing touch with reality. And the message from Earth, the dog teaches us to connect to the land, listen and feel the ways of nature to awaken your intuition. It's funny, just before I came in here to start recording and saw that the first card was Wood Dog, I was in the kitchen and my dog, Cooper, did a stretch, the downward dog kind from yoga. And I've been practicing yoga lately, and it was just kind of cool because I just stopped and I took notice of that form and knowing that, as it's named, downward dog, that so much that we can observe from our furry animal companion friends. And here, there is, it seems, a bit of that as above, so below energy coming in, as there is a downward dog and an upward dog, amongst other puppy poses and such in yoga, that just kind of tapping in here to this energy of wood dog and this guidance about getting grounded and rooting, and sort of bringing that into our collective message from today with that 4 of coins that I pulled in the pick a card video chat, and the 5 of coins that came up for us this week as I'm recording this as our midweek blessing, today's card. So, really this earth energy that's coming forward in terms of the physical, tangible material, but also this guidance of using that to get grounded, rooted, stable, so that we can connect in with the more intangible as it speaks to the higher consciousness. So opportunities to, again, not losing touch with reality, as it says. So we're holding both a 3D experience where we're having that tangible, but also coming into this energy of connecting with our intuition, more psychic abilities in terms of opening up and awakening those additional senses that's coming into the scene. So thinking about how that may be something for you to connect in with your own intuition, maybe even doing some little exercises you can do to help you to connect in with those senses once you've gotten grounded. So I hope you've enjoyed the message. Happy New Year. Okay, if you chose the element of fire, your card is Fire Tiger. Card 3 with the message to share your gifts. The Fire Tiger pillar offers positivity and support when it appears in a reading. The tiger is highly creative and inventive as a Yang wood sign, while Yang fire in the heavenly frequency is associated with joy and unconditional love. As wood produces fire, those who channel our creative force also cultivate inner joy in the process. This card is a confirmation that you're using your gifts wisely. It's now time to share your gifts and spread your joy to a larger community. The creative force within you is emerging stronger than ever. You've been listening to your calling and enjoying the creative process. Keep doing what makes your heart sing to stoke the fire within. Yang earth and Yang fire hidden in the tiger will help you persevere and be consistent in your quest. You can always find inspiration from within your heart. Relax into the creative process and take as much alone time as you need. The creative well within will never run out. Creativity is a gift from the universe that keeps on giving the more we foster it. No matter what line of work you're in, your creative approach is what makes you stand out and be noticed. And the messages from heaven and earth. From heaven, Yang fire, like the sun, shares its light generously and unconditionally. Offering your services will serve as a healing tool, not only for yourself, but also for others. And the message from earth, the tiger doesn't hold back, and neither should you. Think big and make a difference to the world with your creative power. Wow. Well, if you heard my pick a card chat earlier today, we pulled a collective message. It was the Four of Coins. It talked about the rat primarily. It mentioned the ox from the Chinese zodiac. But, you know, the core message that I got with that card is what I said at the end. And that was exactly this, that I feel we are all being awakened, or perhaps you may already be awake, and certainly this card suggests that you're on your way, and that's amazing. Awakening to gifts and contributions that we have to make into the world, into the collective, into our communities, in some way or another. And so this is a beautiful confirmation of that message about you having this beautiful creative gift to give that is beyond just your work, right? And no matter what your line of work or, you know, what your surroundings are like, or your resources and all the things that we talked about in that card pull, and that the Five of Coins also touches on as our midweek blessing, being shown all new ways of being able to utilize what we have to create something of tremendous value. And that the more that we connect in with that frequency of what can I create and what am I investing in and bringing forward in my work, in my life, within me and outside as well. So this heaven and earth energy that's coming through. So really beautiful, again, confirmation to share your gifts. And it's card 3, which is all about creation, collaboration, cooperation, really getting out there and connecting with others. So there's some really beautiful energy here for you to get creative and use your gifts. So thank you so much for tuning in. Happy New Year. If you chose the earth element, your card is the Earth Snake, card number 6. And I can report that this is one of 2 snakes that came up in our pick a card, in addition to the wood snake, of course, which was already out on the altar. So like I said, there are 5 elements for each of the animals. So there's 5 different snakes in this deck, and 3 of them have come forward here in this New Year energy. So your Earth Snake is coming forward with this message that gratitude leads to abundance. This is actually the same card that came up for the new moon in Aquarius reading that I just did, the one that's available to anyone that wants to join for that empowerment reading. We did, in addition to our 5-card spread, I pulled a card from this deck, and this in fact is the one that came up, which we talk about even more in that reading. Gratitude leads to abundance. Yin Earth in the heavenly frequency brings blessings from Mother Earth. She will provide you with the resources needed to manifest your dreams. Tune in to her frequency of peace and gratitude. The more you give back to her land, the more abundance she will give you in return for your generosity. The snake is an interesting yin fire sign with hidden yang qualities of metal, fire, and earth. She appears feminine and nurturing on the surface, and it's only when you get to know her that you'll also discover a determined and bright character who can also be very persistent. This card tells you to search deeper. You may be surprised to find buried treasures hidden underneath the surface. The Earth Snake pillar brings messages of love and joy. Engage in activities that make your heart sing to spark the joy within. You have an infinite capacity to love. Be bold with your love and sincere with your heart. And the messages from heaven and earth. From heaven, Yin Earth reminds us to consider our actions with sustainability in mind. Nurture Mother Earth as you would yourself and your loved ones. We are all part of her. And the message from Earth, the snake's yin fire carries the frequency of joy, which you can cultivate by bringing in more of what uplifts you. Where in nature do you feel happiest? A simple awareness practice is to note the dominating colors in your wardrobe and your surroundings. Which colors and objects uplift your mood? So it's interesting. So far, a lot of the messages are sort of underscoring the collective message we got today when I did the little pick a card chat on the Sharecast, and we pulled from the Storyteller's tarot and got the 4 of Coins with the story about the rat. And, what I was tuning into there in terms of, gifts and abundance and, contents within us that we have to work with. And really tuning into that energy. And in this case, there's a very clear connection to finding your joy, connecting in and investing in the things which light you up and make you joyful so that you can bring that out abundantly and boldly. So, there's a couple of suggestions here, and this is what I talked about a bit in the reading about using color in your surroundings, in your wardrobe, and noticing perhaps even the ways that you already do this and maybe don't even realize, and how that has a direct connection often to your mood or reflecting perhaps the season or even just the energy of a day. So, there's an opportunity here to really tune into that frequency coming from that place of peace and gratitude, and recognizing that the more that you do so, the more that is amplified. And so, again, also speaking to digging deeper and finding buried treasures beneath the surface. And this is where I was feeling with that 4 of Coins today, latent gifts or abilities and tools and things that you may be sort of holding on to, perhaps even unwittingly, that are available for you that, as you give gratefully and abundantly, we send out that frequency for more of the same. So beautiful energy coming in, loving the colors here and connecting you in not just to the earth energy, but also heaven and the upper energy, the upper chakras and dimensions that are being highlighted here in this reading. So I hope you've enjoyed this message, and I thank you so much for coming along. I'm wishing you a very happy Lunar New Year. If you chose the element of metal, you are receiving the Metal Rabbit, card number 28, a state of graceful movement. The metal rabbit pillar is a creative expression of the divine feminine, with yin metal representing beauty on top of delicate, artistic yin wood. The elements may be at odds, but combined in just the right amount of restraint and moderation, they can lead to extraordinary collaborations, especially creatively. Think of the beautiful sounds created by string instruments or the healing vibrations made when you strike a brass singing bowl with a wood mallet. This card asks you to expand your definition of beauty. See beauty as more than skin deep. Create beauty and embody beauty. Invite beauty into your inner world and your external environment. Feed the senses with art, poetry, music, and dance to delight the heart. Embody beauty from the inside and outside so that it shines through your whole being and in your every movement. When you look in the mirror, send love to the beautiful soul in front of you. The metal rabbit is also about softening up your stance without losing yourself in a relationship and releasing your attachments to your relationship ideals so you can enter into a state of graceful movement in giving and receiving. The key is to find balance in accommodating your own needs and the needs of others without compromising your values. And the message from heaven and earth. From heaven, yin metal makes us aware that our perception is a reflection of our inner world. Appreciate the beauty around you without judgment, and the world will reflect more of this majestic beauty back to you. And the message from earth. The rabbit can find beauty in the mundane. Like the humble flowers constantly brighten up a space, you too can transform anything ordinary into something extraordinary when you fill your world with beauty. Well, that is lovely. And I have to say, as I was reading that, especially the beginning, all that was coming to my mind is that this evening is my son's first music concert. Band. He is in the percussion, and this is his first year playing the snare drum, and it's been a slow start to the season. He's 12, they're in 6th grade, and the band consists of, I believe, 5th and 6th graders, and as far as I know, pretty much the entire percussion section, this is their first year playing. And moreover, they only had a handful of practices, including they only actually struck a drum for the first time in the last 2 weeks. So tonight they will be performing a series of wintry songs. And I guess percussion includes things like the cymbals and tambourine and other handheld instruments. And so, he has a little solo part. And what I was really connecting in with here is where it was speaking to beauty and, what we feel on the inside versus the outside, and speaking to those beautiful sounds created by string instruments. If we've ever attended a children's concert of any kind or a novice instrumental performance, we know that there can be some sour notes and that it could be a little rough when we speak to, the way it hits the ear. And yet, isn't it beautiful when you see anyone who has put themselves out there to try something new that they've never done before and to try to synchronize that with others and then be viewed for it up on a stage or under a spotlight or be judged in some way. So, it's just kind of bringing me into, that's just the practical hit that I'm getting, but bring this into, perhaps our inner child and the message that's here for you with this beautiful metal rabbit and this energy of being in that state of graceful movement, embodying the beauty from the inside to the outside and seeing it as more than just what meets the eye or ear, if we will. And, even if I were muting, my son told me when those cymbals first hit, they're pretty loud, and that he got some tips on how to you keep one hand steady and bring the other one to it and make it even louder. So I imagine, but if I were to mute, let's say, that sound and just be looking around at the faces and just the energy that is in the room. So anyway, I translate that into, sort of channeling that into your message in finding that state of graceful movement and seeking out that beauty. And I love how it speaks to extraordinary collaborations. Don't be afraid to play that instrument, to try that thing, to come together, to attempt to synchronize with others in order to create something of beauty. So I think that's really lovely. And I'll be sure to share to the group on the Sharecast any important takeaways from tonight's concert. But thank you so much for being here. I'm wishing you a happy Lunar New Year. And last but not least, if you chose the water element, you received the water snake. Incidentally, I shared that another one of the elements brought forward a snake. And of course, we have our central energy of the wood snake already out on the altar. So being that there are 5 different snakes in this altar, in this deck rather, 3 of them have come out here for this Lunar New Year and these messages that we're receiving. So very powerful energy of the snake. And in this case, water. So this is card 30. It's an additional card that we had another card earlier that had a 3 energy with it, and this would be the same for the 30, bringing forward energies of co-creation, collaboration, and such. And it says, access your inner knowing. The snake, a yin fire sign, may be at odds with the yin water element in the heavenly frequency, but it's an opposition that brings out the best of both elements. Yin water's coolness calms the snake's impulsive moves, while the snake's joyful nature and hidden elements, metal and earth, nourish and contain yin water's mysteries and depth. Joy, the emotion associated with the snake's fire element, is the key to accessing your inner knowing. Its frequency will tell you when something feels right. Fear will sink you deeper into an abyss of uncertainty and confusion, while joy will inspire you to defeat your inner critic and strengthen your inner knowing. Uplift the heart and enthusiasm and positivity to cultivate joy and stoke the light within. As one of the 4 special pillars blessed with divine support, the water snake also appears as a sign that the divine has your back. Release your worries and quiet your doubts. Trust in divine guidance, which can come through signs, conversations, dreams, synchronicities, and help from loved ones and strangers alike. Listen to the heart to recognize messages from the divine. The heart understands the language of the spirit. And the message from heaven and earth, from heaven, accessing the wisdom of yin water requires stillness and silence. Get quiet to listen to your inner knowing. The message from earth, the snake's yin fire communicates through the frequency of joy. If an idea excites the heart and brings you joy, trust that it's your inner knowing telling you to go for it. So that's really beautiful. This is a beautiful card. I love the figure 8, that infinity energy, the coming together from top to tail and the continuity of that. There's a lot of symbolism here because we see the lily pad, and that remembrance of how these beautiful flowers bloom in the mud, through the muck. And so water being this great clarifier and cleansing agent. And this is a topic that's been coming up a lot lately in a lot of my collaborations and my readings, in just the messages that have been coming through, is even though we're in Aquarius season, which is an air sign, and of course we are meeting here under an Aquarius new moon, along with the sun, and we are in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer. So it's an air sign, but it does deal with water in that vessel of moving the water from one side to the other. And in so doing, there's an energy of Aquarius purifying and clarifying the energies of the earth. And so it's really beautiful because, through this process of shedding one's skin, of being flexible and having this continual movement, even when we're coming through perhaps some really heavy, murky, mucky, muddy situations and circumstances, with the water representing emotions and flow and feel, there's this great opportunity for us to really clear that and bring forward a connection directly into joy as opposed to fear. And this was a topic that came up with another one of the cards. In fact, I believe it was the earth snake, the other snake that came up with the earth element in this pick-a-card. It was a yellow snake. And so it was carrying that frequency. Yellow, on the spectrum of yellow, in its lower vibration is fear, worry, anxiety. In its highest and greatest expression, yellow is joy, bravery, courage, this power. So, there's a lot of guidance here in terms of, connecting in with joy, being so closely connected into Snake's fire element, and really being the key for you to access your inner knowing. So there's a lot of guidance coming up, and I think this is just in time because, of course, as we continue to flow through January into February now, coming right up, we will then move into Pisces season, and Pisces is that energy of the psychic, intuitive, dreamy energies that feel very aligned with this card and with the messages that are coming through with creating space for you to create, which is that energy that we see here. So beautiful message, lovely card. Thank you so much for being here. I'm wishing you a beautiful, happy Lunar New Year. So thank you again for joining for the Chinese 5 Elements card pull and for the pick a card. I hope you enjoyed the messages. Here is the thumbnail from that part 1 of our Aquarius New Moon Empowerment reading that's available now. If you would like to join, I'm going to pop the link here again. And if you have figured out your Chinese zodiac and element and would like your card pulled from the deck, I will do that for the new moon reading along with your personal card pulls, which include tarot card from the Cosmic Cycles Tarot and an additional bonus Chinese elements oracle card message for this first full moon of 2025.